What's up, ecosystem? Welcome back to ATI Auto Business. It is Thursday. It is noon Central Time, the last Thursday of June 2023. Really? Yeah. So, but that means we still don't get a break. We got to look for loads. We got to talk to carriers. We got to call brokers. We got to learn how to use the apps and the load boards and negotiate and figure out what are we doing here. Are we building a business? Are we just booking loads? Are we spinning our wheels? Are the rates decent? Is the load volume decent, etc.? So that's what we do here every Thursday, as you know, on Dispatching Live on ATI Auto Business. We encourage you to jump in the live chat. Please do that. And of course, we're going to check in with our favorite co-host, Sue at Murphy Auto Transport Services. Yes, Jay is still getting ready. Here we go. Oh, Sue.
Hey.
Hey, how you doing? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can
Not see me?
I can read you.
Oh shit, I forgot. Whoops. I forgot to do that.
Oh, well, you know, here on ATI, we don't stand for that kind of stuff. In fact, here we go. Please do make sure that you're aware that in compliance with DEI, the views and analysis provided on Dispatching Live relate to the auto transport industry as a whole and may not relate directly to ATI Auto Business, Auto Transport Intel, any affiliates, advertisers, or audience members. All viewers and participants of this content expressly waive any rights during this live program, whether in voice, chat, comment, video, or audio, and have been advised and encouraged not to say or express any opinion that may relate directly to ATI Auto Business, Auto Transport Intel, any affiliates, advertisers, audience members, or any other company or individual, and should not feel they have the right to do so. Just change the channel right now. All right, very good. And if you choose to stick around, please do jump in the live chat and say hello. Oh, and we lost Sue. Sue will be right back, so let's go into... Oh, hey, what's going on? Okay, so Sue says hello. Let me move that woke waiver. It's in my way now. Oh, and here she's back. Sue says, welcome, everyone. Hope everybody's having a wonderful summer day. Yeah, it's hot. It's hot here in the Midwest. I'm assuming it's hot everywhere, but, you know, let us know what's happening. What's it like? See, this... You can't charge extra for this. What's it like to load cars in 100-degree weather? What is that like? Right? Can you charge extra for that? And what happens if you actually tell somebody, hey, it's hot out here? And I don't know, but I got to go back in my AC office. So good luck with everything.
Yeah, not signing. See ya.
Have fun out there cooking on your trailer. Douglas says, hey, it's hot, cute, lost CDN. Very good. That means, what did we say? What's the hot Lana? What's the thing I love? When you're hot, when you're a hot mess. Yeah, Doug is a hot mess. Yeah, I love that. Boy, do I. DDD says, what's up, Jay and Sue? DDD, thanks for tuning in.
Hey.
Really do appreciate it. And it's great to be back on a Thursday, isn't it? Why does it feel like it's been weeks?
It's only been a week.
I know it's been, we just took 1 week off.
Because you were running around so much.
Oh, I know. Okay, all right, so that was just me? All right. Well, but you know what? Let's think about the carrier out on the road. What is time like for a carrier on the road? Does it go fast? Does it go slow? Are you governed by your ELD? Let me get a sip of my ELD.
Do you follow your ELD?
I mean, what is it like?
There's the question.
Where is your mind?
It's probably being fried like an egg on
exactly
on the pavement.
Vance, what's up, everybody? Vance says, what's up? Lance says, I'm broke. Or Doug says, Lance, I'm broke.
Lance, I'm broke.
Oh,
yeah.
Vance, I'm broke. Jeez, Jay, you read the cue cards like Will Ferrell. Okay. Super Dispatch morning, everybody. How we all doing? How are you doing? Super Dispatch is in the house. Thanks so much. Super Dispatch is in the Dispatching Live news today. And Vance is calling it hazard pay when you're a hot mess. What if you call, hi, I'm a hot mess? I just despise that. We were live at NIADA last week. NIADA Convention and Expo. Now I realize before you change the channel, right? Because it sounds like a snoozer, right? And you got you guys and your trade shows, blah, 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 blah. Let me tell you. Here, look at these slides. You tell me if it's blah, blah. Now, okay, that's the hotel. Of course, we knew it would be great. It's the Wynn. It is great. What a great place to stay. Actually, this is the view. I am not kidding. This is the view me and Ty had most evenings, hanging out together, talking business outside the Wynn. Like, we're talking about brokers and carriers and consigners and dealers. It was awesome. Check this out. Stas of Carshipio made it out to NIADA.
Really?
Now, tell me, explain to me how irrelevant NIADA is to auto transport when Stas got out there.
Who's that?
This is what we're getting at. We got a problem. Red alert. We got a problem. Number one, not only are consigners, remarketers, and fleets heading towards a transportation problem, and they're not fully aware. That's a true statement. But auto transport, as an industry, does not go to really other conferences other than AHA and Finished Vehicle Logistics, any if that. Or MATS. You got guys are like, I go to MATS. Well, that has nothing to do with the rest of the automotive industry. But shows like NIADA really do. All right, I'll keep moving on. I know, Jay, I'm so tired of you talking about this. Well, check this out. Me and Ty are now the ultimate trolls. Nobody, let me restart that sentence. Anybody who sees this and knows what's happening knows what's happening.
That's great.
And that's all I said was thank you for the coffee. And then I, promoted NIADA. But what's interesting is while Central Dispatch did pay for the coffee break, I didn't see any other promotion of that company, product, or service.
So was there a person there?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. The coffee was sponsored. I didn't see anything else. So I don't know what that means. Now, Next Gear was there, which is another product service of the larger company, which I'm gonna keep going. Otherwise, I'm just gonna get stuck in a hole. Let's keep moving. Avoid the potholes, Jay. ACV. Everybody in auto transport, not everybody, but we've heard of ACV, right?
Yeah.
ACV does so many things. This is Doug Haddon of ACV explaining to dealers how to improve their bottom line. And he's going to be on ATI next month. We talked to Doug. He's great. Check this out. This is one of Doug's slides. He throws this up in his educational session. Now, anybody in auto transport would be like, "What? I know what that is."
Yeah.
And maybe get their phone out and try to take a photo. And he says this. Doug goes, "Yes, get your phone out, take a photo." I would. What this is ACV's working on technology, just like many other folks, to improve vehicle inspection technology through AI. Now, I know, again, that sounds like a snoozer, and Jay, you're boring, and you're not, where's the loads and where's the cash? But this will improve, in time, the auto transport process, protecting us from damage claims. It really will. It just will take more time. So, usually, anybody in an educational session is usually ahead of the education curve. That's what's another thing about trade shows. When you go to trade shows, you start to get ahead of the curve, right? You're no longer like the last guy to know. And here's another thing. ACV's Apex. This is a device. This is crazy. I'll jump to the goodies. It has vibration sensors. It can smell odors. This thing is next generation vehicle condition status reports on steroids.
So this is what they use to get the car ready for sale? Is that what you're saying with their inspection process?
Yeah, that's part of the
Okay.
inspection process.
Okay, cool.
Exactly. And they also have the undercarriage recorder. But yeah,
Sweet.
like ACV wants to make sure, because this is the point. I mean, again, I know it. I'm not booking loads right now. Just click right out of here if that's all you want to learn about. And I know it sounds, Jay, you sound like a jerk. But I'm so irritated at this lack of our verticals communicating. I'm really irritated. Actually, I'm talking to another company trying to explain why. Forget about it. Keep moving on, Jay. Apex is this device that, yes, this really will help buyers and sellers communicate better in the future, which again helps the transporter. Don't you hate it when you deliver a car and the delivery location goes, whoa, this thing's a piece of crap. This isn't what we ordered.
Right.
Well, with devices like this, you have less chance of that stuff happening.
So this will stay on the car?
No, it's
Okay.
just a temporary use device
Okay.
to fully to get the things about the car that you didn't otherwise get. So, for example,
Gotcha.
when you're buying online, and thanks for getting me back on track. When you're buying online and you're buying at a digital auction, you
Right.
can't smell it.
Right.
This thing will
Get it.
smell it for you and
Right.
tell
The
you
gas
what it
odor.
smells.
Yeah.
Or like here's the one. I think that this is one of the big ones. Smoking, right?
Right.
It's
Well,
interesting.
I like the vibration too, because if
I
it's
know.
running and you hear a vibration, then there's
Right.
something not right. So I think that's kind of cool.
Well, it's fascinating and it's real science. And here's the thing: is
Yeah.
you call a mechanic and you're like, yeah, it's making this noise, and you try to imitate it,
Right.
and they're like, oh, I know that noise. Well, this device knows a lot of noises,
Right. And
and it'll
it'll
keep
send it.
learning more noises, and it'll know what that is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the lug nut in the back flex
Right.
capacitor is, yeah,
I
geez,
think this
Jay,
is
you're a
pretty
real
cool.
mechanic. It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Because honestly, in the long run, yes, it does help the transporter because then you know that you got a good car you're picking up that you're going to be delivering.
It does. And what frustrates me is we're maxed out on technology, and
Right.
actually the big brokers aren't helping because they're all insisting you use their app.
Right.
And so by doing that, by having 20 apps, you've maxed out the logistics ability to take on more technology, which actually is coming.
Right.
And we need to learn how to stop thinking that this is another freaking app we got to learn how to use. This
Right.
actually is a device that, as a transporter, you don't need to know how it works, and you just need to know that there's technology on your side coming. This actually will help the transporter.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah. And ACV is one of those companies that develops new technologies and works on. I actually think ACV is trying to help improve the industry. I don't think of that of all companies.
Right.
But they're going to break a few eggs along the way too, probably. I know that there's been some complaints that their dealer fees are a little bit high, but
Yeah.
if you look at the really big companies, oh, their fees are out of control.
Outrageous, yes.
Yeah. In fact,
Well,
they're being talked about on social media as well. I just want to say this: not only are we kind of knocking on our side of the car
yeah.
about stuff, there are other people hitting on the windshield and the tail lights. There's gonna come a time where this big company is gonna have to figure out a way to communicate and try to fix some of this stuff. I'm sorry, what were you gonna say?
Oh, I was just saying, I think this is fantastic
It's amazing.
because as a purchaser too, I would like to know all that stuff. Anytime you go to buy a used car, wouldn't that be nice? You know what I mean? Because especially, I mean, I wish we could have one of these that
Good
we
point.
could use ourselves.
Well, you know what?
To go to a used car dealer,
You actually make a great point, and that's not impossible.
No, this would
In
be a
fact,
good product for them to sell,
well,
period.
and you know what?
Incredible.
They could probably just create an app,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. True.
right?
Well, you'd still have to hook it up, wouldn't you, to this?
That's the thing. I don't know how you get the smell-o-vision on your app, but
Well, what I'm saying is if this was available to the public, period, Like if I
Yeah.
went to go to a used car, then they weren't using anything like that, and I walked into their thing and hooked it up and ran it all, and then you could say, okay, there's a big pile of crap, I'm not buying it, you know what I mean? Or this is fantastic, I'm going to buy it. Wouldn't that be great for everybody?
Or oh, so you could have. How about this? You got the vibration app in your phone. You just set it on the hood and
Yeah,
turn the car on,
yeah, yeah. I mean,
and
it's
all
pretty
this
cool.
crap starts showing up. Loose belt, bad
Yes.
AC. You know,
Gas leak, something, you know.
and the sales guy's like, "Oh no,
Oh yeah,
that's
no, no, there's
that
nothing wrong with this
that app
car.
doesn't work at all." That's really funny. So there we are at NIADA, and we're just learning a lot, and we're also seeing again the disconnect between sales and operations. So really great stuff. I just want to give a shout out to this is what's neat too. NIADA actually hired ATI to do some promotion. And so not only
Cool.
were we doing a job, but we met a lot of folks, and it really was a. I highly recommend NIADA, and in fact, we had Tuesday night show was a follow up of a panel of folks that went to NIADA, brokers, data, logistics. Stan at Super Dispatch was there too. So Ship Your Car Now was there, which is now SYCN Auto Logistics. Auto Hauler Exchange was there. And it's neat when you see logistics at a trade show because you feel like, wow, you're like Sally Fields winning the Academy Award. They really do like me. Go ahead and show me the truck. Don't forget to do that. This came in right before the show. Doug sent this in. Do you know where he is?
I don't, but it's beautiful. I don't think he's in South Dakota, right?
To me,
Where you at, Doug?
It looks like Lake Tahoe or something.
Well, I know he had to drop some stuff. I want to say South Dakota, but don't quote me on that.
I mean, it could be. Beautiful. A couple nature shots here. Ooh, that does look more like the Great Plains, like a Dakota. And this tree.
I know he was up there. That's why I'm wondering if that's
Nice composition, Doug.
Yeah, that's
Right?
beautiful.
I like
It really
that.
is.
That looks great. What? Wow.
Oh,
Oh,
Cheyenne,
Wyoming.
Wyoming. Okay.
Wow.
Well, that was the 18th. Was that the rest too?
Yeah, he sent me those 3.
Oh, okay.
That's a good job. Well done, Doug.
That's kind of neat.
That was really neat. So send in those photos. You can send them in autotransportintel@gmail.com. And you also know that in 1 hour of dispatching live, you will get it all. Oh, he's at Idaho and Wyoming. Right?
Oh, okay.
We'll talk, and we will talk about loads here in a minute. But there's just so much in logistics. Here, check this one out. Look at this YouTube comment. I just watched your info. I think this was Car Hauler 101. Thanks. I know someone who wants to haul high-end specialty cars. By the way, read that sentence. I know someone who wants to haul high-end specialty cars. So this could go anywhere.
Yeah.
This would be cars worth $200,000 plus. What are the insurance issues? How do you bid on this kind of work?
Ugh.
And I'm thinking,
One car? Is that what he's saying?
I don't know, but I'm thinking, where did you get this idea?
Well, that too.
Because I really want to know. Either you know car collectors, or you
Right.
saw a YouTube video, or I don't know what, and it worries me. This question worries me a lot because
Yeah.
you are getting into, it's either this or you could get in that cage and get lowered into like a shark tank with a bunch of, bloody meat.
Well, and it all depends on where you live for especially high-end cars. It's only going to be in certain areas, you know what I mean?
If you're just getting in, this is
Not the way to do
treacherous
this.
territory.
Yeah.
Because it only takes a couple. I mean,
And
at that high a vehicle, a couple
Uh-huh.
mistakes, you're
You're
in for,
screwed.
my God,
Yeah.
5 figures.
Yeah.
I mean,
Because
wow.
of your deductible, I'm sure to get that kind of insurance that we're talking
When
about
that's the thing, exactly.
is your deductible. You're going to try to make it 5,000 or 2,500 or something like that.
When Ty
So,
says, "Do you have 6 months' pay?" Stored up, you're going to
Right.
need a year.
yeah, on
from
this
the-
kind of stuff.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
the enclosed equipment, the insurance,
Hmm.
what other equipment you need? Because I don't know. Wow.
Yeah, whatever you're driving. Yeah, I mean, it's a
Yeah,
truck or
sounds
a big
really
rig, so
tough.
who knows?
So what I said was join the live chat on Thursday, and
Yeah.
hopefully he tuned in and is listening. What I guess we don't. Do you have any
Give us more
actual? I
specifics.
just
Yeah.
got negative. Do you have any actual advice? Like, do you have
I
anything
mean,
positive to add?
well, like I said, first off, insurance issues is all going to depend on how many cars you're going to carry. So if you're carrying two that are 200,000, you're going to need at least $500,000 in cargo is what I would do. And then it's going to go up from there. Um, and that's expensive insurance too. Um, then as far as bidding, like I said, it all depends on where you're at because not every city, state is going to have this kind of stuff. Like if you were living in LA, Beverly Hills, you would see this on there quite a bit, but you're going to be doing local stuff. So if you're doing local, then you're going to go to the Mercedes, you're going to go to the Lamborghini, you're going to go to them, you're going to sell yourself to them to do their work for local stuff. Now, everything else is a little bit different because not everybody is going to sell a high-end car that's going across country. You know what I mean? So those are going to come in few and far between. That's why enclosed is kind of hard to do. Sometimes you're going to take open. You know how many times I get emails or texts saying, "I'm an enclosed trailer. Can you raise the price?" And I'm like, "I didn't ask for an enclosed trailer. I'm sorry." That's part of that business of it too. So I guess we need a little bit more info from him to help answer the question. I tried, but
Well, and I tried to. I think between the two of us, I
yeah,
think what we're saying is,
don't do it.
that's what I would say.
In general, yes,
But
because
camera one, listen, and here's this about life. People,
right.
everyone can tell you no, and maybe you still do it
Right.
anyways.
Right.
So
That's typical.
well, and who's to say? I mean, I'm sure there were people that said don't make a YouTube channel about a transfer, and here I am, so having such a great time doing so. But I mean, anyways, you got our 2 cents. Thanks for asking. I appreciate the question. I always
Yeah.
want to try to give an answer. Here's
Yeah.
one. How long does it take to book a delivery? This is an interesting question. How long does it take to book a delivery from Virginia Beach, Virginia to Irvine, California if the broker has it on the board for $900? It only weighs 2990 pounds, 3,000. Two-seat Roadster, 2008 Saturn Sky. Thanks. Now this guy sounds like a shipper, right?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. I see what you're saying.
Right?
Because it's on there too cheap, is what basically,
And that's
you
what
know.
I said. I said, "Oh my
Yeah.
God, that's 33 cents a mile." Now, I don't have the time to type all these words, so I'll say it here. But I realize, see, I know we live in a world where everybody wants what they want, when they want it, how they want it, and super cheap. I get that.
Right. Right.
I mean, I have Amazon too.
Right.
So, but this is your car,
Right.
and we now live in a world where I don't think anybody wants to tell you that 33 cents a mile is super low.
Yeah.
Now, if you can get it moved for 33 cents a mile, why don't you go ahead and check for new damages on delivery? Because something's going to be wrong. If you get this car moved for 33 cents a mile, by the way, Virginia Beach to Irvine, that is the width of the United States.
Right. That's
All right. So
basically
if you
coast to
can
coast.
get your precious baby car moved for $900, the width of the United States, in a timely fashion with no new damages, that is amazing.
Okay, so I looked it up to see if it's on here. Okay.
It is on there, isn't it?
Yeah, it is on
Yeah,
there, and
it's
they've
on
raised
there.
it up to 9.75, which is 36 cents a mile.
Whoa, 975. Oh my God, book it now, Dano. Okay, right now, Jay. You're once again, Jay. I can't stand the way you're talking about this stuff.
But I will tell you, there's cheaper
Yeah.
ones on there than that for
I'm
22
sure there
cents
are.
a mile.
Hey, I'm sure there are.
$600.
So
Yeah.
take it away. Could you put this with your load? Sue,
No.
what would you do?
I would probably call them and tell them I needed more money on it. Now, there's other stuff on here going that direction. I will tell you there's one that's enclosed for only $1,350 for 50 cents a mile, which is ridiculous as well. They've got a Norfolk, Virginia to Pasadena for $1,250, which is 46 cents a mile. There is a big van on here for $1,900 at 71 cents a mile. We have an in-op on here for $1,200, which is 45 cents a mile. So here's the thing. People are putting them on here that cheap. I'm sure that's why they did what they did by giving them that price, but that doesn't mean they move for that price. You know what I mean? Um, I would at least recommend getting it up to the 50 cents a mile range, which is like $1,200 or something. 1200 and it should be 1250 to make it 50 cents a mile, I think is what it says. And I would have quoted them like $1,800, something like that, to get it over there.
Well, okay, so there we go. What's the shipper paying, right?
Yep. So we don't know
Okay,
that.
we
Yeah.
don't know that. And obviously, I mean, hey, I understand capitalism. We're going to throw it on there as low as we can, and then we're
Right.
going to raise it by $10 a day or whatever. So
Yeah.
here's a question. You're in Irvine, California. What is this car for? Is this just a personal car because you got like 10 cars? Cool. Post it for $500. But if this is your like work vehicle or whatever, like this is the car you drive every day,
Yeah.
what are you spending on rental cars waiting for your car?
Exactly.
And by the
Exactly.
way, do you realize, if you get the cheapest whatever, what do you get in return? The cheapest whatever.
Good point.
So I
Good
mean,
point.
I don't know. This seems like a decent car. I know it's a 2008, but
Yeah. And I
I
know
don't
it's
know.
small, but
I would
it's
drive it,
still
and I would probably think it's nice enough to pay more than 30. But I know you don't know. That's another problem. How many brokers called?
hmm
Why wouldn't you go with the cheapest?
right.
Right?
And they don't know the difference. They don't
But
understand the industry. That's
but
the problem. Yeah.
exactly. Did you get it? Were there any brokers that you talked to that you thought this seems like a nice person? It's $100 more, but I'm going to go with this.
Right.
Does that happen anymore? I don't know. I
Well,
don't know.
and how much are they charging them? And, that
Right.
kind of
Well,
thing.
that's exactly right. What's the shipper paying? And
Yeah.
I didn't even ask that because, you know,
We don't know if it's the broker or
where do we start?
exactly.
We have no idea.
We
But
don't
I
know if
think
the
it's
actual
so cool
customer.
that a shipper found ATI and asked the question.
Yeah.
That is awesome. All right, let's keep going. Hey, did you get the memo? Gosh, it's almost 12:30. That's crazy.
Wow.
FMCSA to consider requiring proficiency tests for new carriers.
What does that mean?
I don't know, but it's interesting. Um, okay, well, this is an idea from 14 years ago. That's also interesting. Because this is, when you're dealing with the government, like these, you got ANPRM, which is Advanced Notice of Proposed Rulemaking. Like, kids go to bed. But, Dad, we didn't get the Advanced Notice of Proposed Rulemaking. Okay, well, they'll have a meeting tomorrow about having another meeting this weekend. And then next weekend, you need to go to bed. Okay, tell me I'm wrong. This is why it took 14 years for this petition to get somebody's attention again. It would seem that there are enough problems noticeable on the road. Maybe there's too many lawsuits or tires bouncing around on ramps. I don't know what it is, but somebody's like, hey, I think we should probably think about proficiency tests for new carriers. Anybody want to? But Jay, broker group establishes fraud task force. Now, while that sounds like tiddlywinks and wonderful, here's the thing. In response to the rise in fraudulent activities within the transportation sector, the TIA has announced the establishment of a TIA fraud task force. Sue, are you familiar with TIA at all?
No, not really.
Good. Then let's keep reading. Because it
Okay.
sounds great. The task force is comprised of industry executives within the third-party logistics industry and technology companies, yada yada. And Capitol Hill, FMCSA, senator, representative, letter, yada. All right, here's. You remember James Lamb and the SBTC?
Open final guidance on. Wow.
Yeah.
How does that?
Now I
Why?
jumped. Okay, I
You read it.
jumped.
Yeah.
I jumped from TIA to SBTC.
Yeah.
But what if they have the same feelings about fraud and it's all the dispatcher's fault? The FMCSA, we recently had a champagne show recently,
Yeah, because
right?
yeah, it didn't say anything about the final nail in the coffin for dispatch services. What
Which
the hell is he talking
which
about?
means people just hear what they want to hear. I have
Well,
no
yeah,
idea. I
because
literally
you
don't
read
know.
it.
I
You read
know.
it and said
We
they're not
that's
doing
what
anything.
that's why I did that, to prove that it's in English words that we could all read together. And here we got this.
Which
I'm
makes
like,
no sense.
what? I mean, it's crazy.
That's
We
crazy.
live in such a weird world. It's just a weird, crazy world. That's why we say, welcome to Auto Transport. You can do whatever you want.
Yep.
Just do it. We all can. One of my favorite Facebook groups. Found out the Tacoma I have on board. Let's see. Broker's not active, has no bond. Did I read this already?
That's it. No, uh-uh.
Okay. I'm having deja vu.
Found out the 6 Tacoma I
The
have on the
six
broker.
Tacoma I have, the broker's not active and has no bond. And so then he gives the update. I got paid after 4 hours, but he said I'm not unloading until I'm getting paid or whatever. And then he shares it's here's what's interesting. And I actually made this analogy to somebody yesterday, that ATI is kind of like we're turning the light on in the closet and the roaches scatter. It's not just ATI. I mean, this is what I like about Facebook is that, look, dude, hey, dude, brokering, we know you're not active. We know you don't have a bond. We're posting it on Facebook. I mean, there are people that answer phones and will book loads, and they have no right doing so, but they do it anyways. How much longer will they get away with this? And how much longer will we mistakenly think it's the dispatcher? It's weird. All right, let's keep going. But here's the comments. Here's what's it. Who's getting blamed? Go ahead and read those comments. This was a post about a broker having no bond, and who do the comments go after?
Central don't care. Owned by man, they don't have no interest.
Do you see why
Yeah.
it might behoove you, technology company, to not just let people do whatever they want, which is a cue to you, Sue. You got a story coming up, don't you? A couple stories. I mean,
Yeah.
this is the thing: is that how much longer? I keep saying it, and I'm delivering the goods. How much longer is this going to go on? Because I said it last show. It's now the number one load board has become a vandalized ATM in a vandalized mall.
Yeah, they don't care.
And I mean, it's not that the ATM doesn't work, but it's vandalized in a vandalized mall. Sue, what's your story?
Well, the one doesn't have anything to do with this, but we'll start with this one. So, I don't know about anybody else, but this whole transactional rating thing sucks. Suck. Anyways, we all we're doing is getting retaliatory feedback when we give people negatives. I'm pretty sure the brokers are going to confirm that as well. Um, I give out negatives and I don't give them out just randomly for the fun of it. I give them out when they don't pay or they do something stupid and that kind of thing. Like today, for example, we had a car going from Atlanta to Columbus. The guy never gave the 24-hour notice or 2 hours. And he made an agreement with the owner, which is a customer of mine that I've had for years, that he was just going to drop the vehicle and get sell. Next thing you know, he shows up and the driver and my customer actually was there at the dealership then, and he refused to take the car off the trailer until he got paid. Well, why? You were going to just drop it, a couple hours before that, and then you're going to act like this? So we called him and said, you need to, my owner's not paying you until he does an inspection on this car. You guys screwed all this up, not us. And you need to get out there and take care of business. Well, the guy was rude as hell. So needless to say, they're not going to be hauling for me ever again. And it's a specific driver. And here's the problem. Like I can put that feedback on there, but I'm going to get one back. So what is the point of these ratings even? That's what's irritating the crap out of me. That's number one. Then if you make a mistake and give somebody a bad negative and you didn't mean to, guess what? Still can't take it off. Won't help you. Won't do anything. That kind of thing. So really, like I said, what do any of these ratings mean? they don't mean anything because you can't trust them. So that's my number one complaint. And I'm sure there's other people complaining about the same thing.
Well, yeah, you're not alone, and
No.
you just proved the vandalized ATM and the vandalized mall. The bank is going to say, well, the thing works.
Yeah. Well, and I told them this. I had this meeting with them
Okay.
and I told them all this stuff. I said, this is what's going to happen because you're not monitoring it. And you're just going to let them do whatever they want as far as retaliation. And this is going to happen over and over and over again. And it's not just going to be with transporters, it's going to be with brokers too. Because if a transporter complains, say they complain and said, well, they weren't there when I arrived, blah, 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 blah. And then the broker's going to go on there and say the customer was sitting there waiting for you. You're lying. It's just going to go back and forth, back and forth. What's the point?
But here's the good news. The good news is that it's not the only lemonade stand on the block. And, over time, people stop going to the vandalized ATM at the vandalized mall. They start looking for a mall that's not so vandalized.
Well, like Super Dispatch. That's why I keep saying post your stuff on Super Dispatch, and
hey.
we don't have to deal
What
with
a
this.
what a strange leap you made there. I couldn't see that coming. That's good.
Yeah.
I like it. Thank you very much. Before we get on to, let's see. Oh, that's just more. Okay, that's high insurance.
Yeah, because my story I've got for you is nothing to do with this, so we'll tell that towards the end.
All right, I'll tell you what.
It's a crazy thing to happen.
All right, we still have your story, and I'll tell you what. Here's what we're gonna do. A few loads available. Do me a favor, stick around. Right after this, we're gonna go to few loads available, Sue's story, and then we'll kind of wrap it up. So stick around. We'll be right back.
Hey guys, what are you up to?
Hi, Jasmine. We just picked the lucky load winner.
No way.
Yeah. So what do I have to do to win the lucky load? Just gotta be a verified carrier. You gotta book a load on Super Load Board. And it's gotta be a Super Pay load. So our winner this time is MC2 Transport. All right, let's give him a call.
All right, let's do it.
I need to speak to voicemail about Michelle. I'm not available at this time, so leave a name and a number.
A few moments later.
Or press 1 for more options.
Yesterday, we picked our lucky load winner and we tried to call them a couple times and we weren't able to connect, but I am going to call our lucky load winner and we're going to tell them what they won.
This is Al.
Hey, Al, this is Ben with the Super Dispatch team. How are you?
Hey, man, how are you? I'm good.
I'm just calling today to let you know that you're the lucky winner for this month, man. So congratulations.
Thank you much. Thank you.
We just want to say thank you.
I'm excited to death about this.
That's great. That's great. We really thank you for using Super Dispatch. And if you need anything at all, just give us a call, all right?
Absolutely. Thank you much.
All right, Al. You take care. Congratulations again.
You too. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
The next evolution of moving cars faster, smarter, and easier is here. SuperPay by Super Dispatch. Today, shippers waste hours managing fragmented payment systems. And carriers are left wondering, never knowing when they'll finally get the payment they're owed. SuperPay saves everyone time and hassle by securely automating payment upon proof of delivery. No more tracking down payments or onboarding carriers to disconnected payment systems. With integrated payments with SuperPay, Super Dispatch is now the only end-to-end, all-in-one auto transport platform. Automate payments where you automate transport.
Are you completely stressed out from all the calls and the contracts and the verifications of loads where nobody ever answers the phone? Call Murphy Auto Dispatch Services today. Murphy Auto Dispatch Services has over 15 years in the transport industry. We are your office while you are on the road. We book, we verify, and we bill out your loads for you. We have an excellent accounting staff and an even better dispatch team. Give us a call today at 417-273-0021, or if you want to email me, it's murphyautotransport31@yahoo.com. Give us a call today.
Welcome back to ATI Auto Business Thursday Dispatching Live. Okay, so I was talking about, few loads available. Now, yeah, so this was an email. That's right. I got a few. So here's what's interesting. Here's the setup. I got 3 emails in about 24 to 36 hour time. And this company, whose name I'm not sharing, and I'm just sharing this for observation and information, okay, in comparison and more. But this is a big company that I know has made some videos, and I know other people have heard of, and I think they've even been to a couple trade shows. So when I got this email, I was confused. Here's why. Few loads available, okay? Good afternoon. Yes, and I asked you if this made sense. We'll get to that in a second. But I just want to point out what I like. I think the few loads available is good marketing. I think giving the dispatch hours is good. I would have put the phone number right there too. Maybe the email address as well. That's okay. We'll be closed on 4th of July. Good to know. Now, we have the following loads available. I like the format. I think it's easy to read. It's not like straight from the Atari. But here's what I don't understand. Number 1, it doesn't seem like there's only a few loads available. And number 2, I don't understand how I'm supposed to sift through. Well, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. So when I get to the bottom, which I'll wager right now, I'm one of 25% of people that actually went to the bottom of this email. I bet it's less than that. Anyways, call to get your reserve load. And we have payment options. And then I saw the payment options. And I don't know if I'm super excited about those either. Right? I don't think 2.5% in 15 days is really going to get anybody excited. And 5% for 5 days. Don't I feel like I'm getting a little gouged here? Are you a bank? Yeah, I didn't really like that either. So I know, look at that. So, I mean, like, next day, 8%. So, I'm like, overall, I give this whole email, like, a C-. All right. But, Jay, nobody cares. So, I asked Sue, is this helpful? And Sue, go ahead and read your answer and expand on that, would you please? Oh,
unless I see
wait,
it in
start
an area.
Start over. I
Okay.
had you muted. Start over.
Oh,
please.
okay.
Sorry.
So I said, not really. I would want the miles listed, obviously, so you could see, what you're getting paid per mile. I'd also want to know what the units were so I could know if they were even going to fit. And honestly, when I get these lists, I don't really pay attention to them unless I see something like I'm in that area. And because they don't list everything, I'd have to go on to Central to see, what they were to make sure they were going to fit. And to set up with this company takes forever. Even if you're just doing a certificate of insurance, takes hours. And then nobody knows what's going on when you call back repeatedly over and over again. So that's a real pain in the butt to get signed up with them. Just a heads up. And I know you guys don't know who it is, but it's a big company.
Right there, it is. It's a big company.
Yeah.
And then my final thought was, gosh, you need to be posting on Super Dispatch.
Yeah.
Right? Why?
Yeah.
Think of all the time it took to put this email together when you
Right.
could just talk to someone at Super Dispatch and be like, guys,
Absolutely.
we really need other ways to get our loads in front of carriers.
Yes. Like
And that
I
was-
wish, for example, a new who never answers the phone because
Right.
of their lack of
Just-
staff need to be on Super Dispatch.
What it is, it's called cross-posting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, camera 1. Cross-posting. If you're a broker or a shipper of any kind, you're a fleet, you're a remarketing company, you're a lender, you could be in recovery. And if you're a shipper or a broker and you need help getting your vehicles in front of more carriers, you need to be cross-posting on Super Dispatch. And by the way, as I say this, you know what, Super Dispatch? We need to build an image for this. Cross-posting on Super Dispatch.
Well,
Something
and
I've
here's-
talked to them about. Yeah, go ahead.
Here's my thought too: is I've talked about that people are using Super Dispatch and it's getting posted to Central, but we don't always know you go to get it at Super Dispatch. If
Right.
I don't know if they have a thing on there when you list the car that has like the little link, that automatically
Right.
goes into
Good
Central
point.
so they can click on it. If they don't, they need to, because I think that would stop a lot of this calls, because we would know immediately to click that button to go to Super Dispatch to grab that load.
The booking link.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And hey, are we still seeing booking links? Seems like it was a thing. Are we still seeing those?
Some.
Okay, some.
And I know there's some that are using like ship.easy and stuff like that, like
Right.
Freedom, but their loads are never whatever. Anyways, so there's really no point. I have seen, like, there's been a few that say Super Dispatch. Some I just know because we've gone through it so many times that you go to book there. But most of them are not putting them on there. Or they'll say, please go see Super Dispatch, but no link. So
Right.
yeah,
That's a
I
good
wish there
idea.
was a
The
link
link is a-
automatically when they listed it. It comes up, there it is. You click the button, you go get your load. I mean, it would make life a lot easier.
I think Ben is in the live chat, or somebody is from Super
Ben,
Dispatch.
can we do that?
Yeah, that's a great idea. If we can put that on the roadmap.
Because honestly, I think some of these people, the brokers, probably don't realize that, especially if they're new to this and stuff.
They
there's no
don't.
link for people to know. You know what I mean?
Here's the thing. Here's my understanding, because this is right in line with what you're saying. My understanding is that if you cross post to Super Load Board, or rather, if you're a shipper, if you're one of these red arrow shippers, right?
Right.
When you post on Super, it stays on Super, and then some amount of time later, it will cross post in other
The
places.
Central.
Yes.
Yeah. Sorry. Yes. To the big board.
Right.
Sorry.
Big. But
Yeah.
yeah. So I mean, it is, and when we go back to the vandalized ATM, I mean, see, and here's the thing: it's working. They have over 500,000 vehicles moving through their system a month. Isn't that amazing?
All right. I got it. I just sent you an email. You need to go look at this. I just got it from the big load board.
No.
Yes, I did. And it's about rating canceled transactions.
What?
Uh-huh.
No way. All right, should
Whether
I share
it's
it?
completed or not, now you can rate every job.
Do you want me to share it?
Yeah, that's crazy.
We may as well. We are the #1 logistics YouTube channel at this point, so we may as well share this. Here we go.
That is crazy.
That is crazy. All right, this is straight from Jay's inbox. Let's see. Wait a minute. Let's go to. All right, so we've got this. Just came in. Okay. So rate canceled transactions. Partner with more confidence, knowing you can rate every job. Whether it's completed or not.
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's new.
Uh-huh. I just did it just now.
Why? Well, I wonder who's been complaining about this.
Well,
Good
my
job,
big
Sue.
mouth has.
Good job, Sue. Winner, Sue. Wow,
Winner
that's
dinner,
awesome.
Chicken winner, or whatever it is, chicken dinner.
You get a chicken dinner. You can rate, you can do that, yada. All right, that's exciting. Well, that is definitely nifty stuff. And don't worry. You don't need to come on our show and talk about it. Just go ahead and communicate with us through email or text, and we'll just, do it that way. We're fine with that. Because at the same time, in the same breath, Super Dispatch is moving over 500,000 vehicles per month through their system.
Wow. That's awesome.
It is awesome. And in fact, this was just shared. Let's talk about SuperPay as it compares. So SuperPay, let's see here. Why don't you go ahead and read that? What does that say? You tell me what you're seeing.
So I see a 10-day, let's see, maybe, tracking payment. Well, I mean, I know. Okay, so they're comparing their SuperPay to everybody else. I gotcha. So yeah, you do. This is the good part about SuperPay. They tell you exactly when it's going into your account, if there's a hold on anything, and usually if they put a hold on it, it's only because they haven't received all the paperwork and haven't confirmed with the delivery that everything was fine. And you're right. You don't have to wait for the mail. You don't have to deposit a physical check. So yeah, I mean, SuperPay is awesome.
That's a lot of. It's a really good graph. This is really really.
And you're
it
right.
makes
You only
think.
have to share your bank details with Super Dispatch. That's it. Not 10,000 people
That's
out there.
actually my favorite part.
Yeah, I agree.
Because this
Especially
is
with what's been going on.
This is the worst. Exactly. Oh my gosh! Right.
Yeah.
Techno fraud. But even without techno fraud, every time you fill out a broker packet, it's annoying, and you wish there was a place to post your packet and everybody could get it. Now I realize again, somebody's gonna say we already have that. Yeah, but no, you don't really, because we still have to fill out 1 million broker packets. So the same thing, especially with your bank information, you don't want to send it to 20 people. With SuperPay, you put your information, the minimal amount required, you put it into your carrier profile, and then you just share that.
Yeah.
Instead of sending 20 companies pictures of voided checks and all this stuff. I love that. There's your commercial right there. And that's a wrap on Jay's SuperPay commercial. The lucky load every month.
Yes, we
don't
got
forget
that.
about that. Yeah, so we saw that. All right, so while we're going to go from lucky load into Sue's crazy Florida story.
Yes.
Sue, what happened?
So I'm staying in a condo unit, shall we say, that's probably got only like 80, 90 units. It's a small place, and we're all facing the ocean, and we all have our balconies. I was only on the second floor. That day I had met an owner, because most of this is rented out as, vacations, but there are people that actually live there. So that morning I'd met this guy in the elevator. He's in his 60s, I would say. He was trying to hold the elevator open with a whole bunch of crap because he'd had all these deliveries. And so I was holding open the door, and he was telling me how his sister had died, so they were remodeling the apartment that's right next to mine. I'm like, okay, no big deal. So that evening I'm sitting there on my balcony and just sitting there like I do. Anyways, I see the guy walking around talking to the maintenance guy who were trying to fix the gate that goes down to the thing. Anyways, he looks at me and he's like, "Can I come up? I've locked my keys in my room. Can I crawl across your balcony to go to my room?" I'm like, okay. And I'm not kidding you. Like, he's in his 60s. He's wearing his diabetic socks, the whole thing, diabetic shoes, the whole thing, right? So he's flipping his leg over, and we're not talking like this is easy. This is like some death-defying crap here. And because all I'm thinking is, I know I'm on the second floor, but there's rose bushes right below. I'm thinking this guy's falling. He's going to get stabbed. He's dying. It all works. I asked him if I should hold his leg, and he's like, no, I got it. All right. So he gets across, and he comes out, and he's like, "Oh, thank you so much for letting me do this. I really appreciate it. You want me to take you out to dinner?" I'm like, "No, that's fine." And so he sits out there, and he's hanging over the balcony just to talk to me as he proceeds to talk to me some more. So he's just chit-chatting, telling me where places to go because he's from there. And as I find out, too, by the way, that his sister had died in the room for 5 days. Nobody found her, so that's why they had to redo the whole place. So then it goes from there to the guy saying to me, "Janice, stop laughing." So the guy says to me, he says, "Do you mind if I ask you a question? I just always want to ask a woman this question." I'm like, okay. And he goes, "Do you have a problem with men who dress up as women?" I'm like, "No, dude, I don't have a problem with it. I'm not judgmental, whatever, right?" And then he goes, then he asks me, he's like, "So would you ever go out in public with somebody like that?" And so I'm like, I don't know if he's asking me out. I don't know what's going on. All I say is if they were my friend, I would accept them no matter what. Wouldn't be a problem, for me to go out with them. So he's like, okay. So he continues on with the conversation, and I'm just like, oh God, this is getting weirder by the minute, right?
This is weird.
So he's still talking. We're talking about what I do and all this stuff. And so then all of a sudden he says, "So if I asked you for a piece of your clothing, would you give it to me and I'd give it back to you?"
Oh my gosh.
And I'm like, excuse me, what? So he's like, "So if I asked for some of your panties..."
What?
I'm not kidding you. And I'm like, like, well, I really don't feel comfortable with this. I'm gonna let you go now. And he's like, okay, now you think I'm a real weirdo. I'm gonna go inside. I'm like, yeah, probably a good idea at this point in time. I don't know whether to call the cops or what, because it was so crazy. I've never had anything like that happen to me before, but yeah, it had happened to me. So
Wow. Well, first of all, I just want to say that is one wild story. All right, that is a first on Dispatcher Live.
I know every time I tell the story, Janice can't quit laughing because she knows what the punchline's going to be every time.
Was that the same balcony we saw in the shot?
Yes. That was the balcony I was on. He was right beside me.
Wow.
I will say, he left me alone the rest of the time after
I'm
that.
sure he
wasn't
did.
Sure.
I'm sure he did. Oh my God. Well, and also, what I really also like is, I mean, he felt the freedom to express.
I guess.
But that story was weird, and then it got really weird, and then it just got really strange.
I know. And, you know, I let the company that ran the place
Holy cow.
own the, there's companies that run them. I called them up and I said, I just want to give you a notice. I said, I don't want you to do anything about it, but I think you need a heads up because not everybody's going to be as cool as I was about it. Someone might have called the cops on it. So just letting you know.
No, you're right. And that was a nice thing to do because, so he's a resident.
Yeah.
Right, because yeah.
Now, he doesn't stay there all the time, which is good.
Okay.
He was there to fix it up, and it's a family-owned unit from, when it was built. That's how long they've owned it, his whole family. But not something normally you would say to somebody that you're just sitting across from a balcony on.
Yeah.
You know.
Whew. Wow. Well, you handled it really well.
I think so. I did lock my balcony door after that. Just so everybody knows.
Ty's talking about Bud Light.
Yeah.
Well, he seemed harmless enough.
Yes, he did.
But why would you want clothing back after he wore it?
Exactly. I was saying,
I mean,
no, you're keeping that. I don't want back if I had done it, but I wasn't doing it either.
So that shows just a
yeah, because you can imagine I'm sitting there going, what's he going to do with it?
Yeah, no. No, I don't want it back. By the way, DDD says most of the brokers' pay terms on Super is horrible. Oh, wow, interesting. And this is where, you know what? This is where
they can't control that.
I was just going to say that there's an amount we can't control.
Right.
But, so I guess DDD, the question is, but is your overall experience better?
Right.
And if the answer is no, I can handle that too.
And honestly, here's the thing too, and I've never tested this because I've never had anybody on Super Dispatch not pay us. So
okay, that's good.
If CD, if you do that, they have nothing to do with getting paid if the broker bond is done and that kind of thing. Yeah, because we just had that happen on there for a lot of money for a broker that went out of business. Now, and that's what I'm saying. I've never had that experience on Super Dispatch in all the years I've been on here. Never had asked for a broker bond information. Never, I have always gotten paid. So I think there's your difference too. You have to look at it that way too.
And that's a good point. So DDD, the question is then, what about some of your other experiences? Is that commonplace? But
and I think Jack Cooper's always been 30 days, right? So that there's just some
probably
brokers
right
out
about
there
that.
Are always
Well,
30 days, no matter what you do.
I think you're probably right because I think what's happening is I'm assuming with Jack Cooper, are those new vehicles?
I think Jack Coopers are usually new, but I've done stuff that was used before.
Have you for Jack Cooper?
Yeah, but I have a factoring company, so it's not that big of a deal to me. Anything that's 30 or over 10 days, I factor. So.
Well, my point is that OEMs
are different. They have to wait for their money.
Oh my gosh! Do you know how long?
Oh yeah, I guarantee it's over 30 days.
Oh, it could be 6 months. I'll wager that the OEM doesn't pay the service provider for 6 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why they
so
got to do 30 days.
30
I mean, I
days,
get
yeah,
it.
is their way of holding the wall.
Yeah.
So, for reference. Let's see. I think we're near the end here. Oh, I think I had one other thing to share. Don't forget the logo. Oh, this came up on my LinkedIn.
Must
Here,
be.
fun fact.
What?
Yeah, fun fact.
Oh my God! You're kidding me! If you steal property, you must report its fair market value in your income.
If you're on the podcast,
Oh,
I'm going to
God.
read this. This was shared by a tax professional on LinkedIn. So this is not fake. I don't think.
This is crazy shit.
Income from illegal activities, such as money from dealing illegal drugs, must be included in your income on Schedule 1, Form 1040, Line 8Z,
Self-employment.
or on Schedule C, Form 1040, if from your self-employment activity of dealing illegal drugs.
What do you write in there?
And I know, right?
Selling of pot. That's
Crack.
You know,
Selling crack.
I made $1,000 off of crack. Here you
Good
go.
year. Okay, and also in regards to stolen property, if you steal property, you must report its fair market value in your income
God.
in the year you steal
Steal
it,
it.
unless you return it to its rightful owner in the same year. I know it can't be true.
So if
But
you return it the next year, when you report it, you get to take it off your taxes the
if
next
you've
year.
made it through the full hour of this show, it would seem like this is probably
It's
true.
like we're on crack.
Yeah, we're on-
That is insane.
I know.
I know that's true. That's
And
just
it's-
crazy, though. You think
I-
people do it?
I believe it. I believe it.
That is the craziest shit
Although,
ever.
I fall for scams all the time. It's the Car Shipping Business Channel. My name is Jay. Please do feel like you can share in the live chat. If you missed... Ooh, S&S Logistics has the worst pay terms, says Vance. What are they?
Really?
Share them.
Yeah. What
It
is
is
it?
that's part of, thank you. It is, we will read, this is where you can get all the news in one place. Yeah, we have feelings too, but gosh darn it, we're journalists. So,
Funny.
share it. Send me an email, autotransportintel@gmail.com. And look at that, we only did 1 hour today. I think that's good.
Yeah.
That's really good. That's a packed hour. We didn't search for any loads though. So do me a favor. Yeah, get your search results. Get your search. What do we got? Next Thursday's the 6th. Yeah, that'll work. Let's search for some loads next Thursday. Show us your trucks. Share your insurance woes. Ask your questions. And I don't think I even read. Let's see. Oh, DDD also said, why would he get a bad rating? He done his job and no damages were done to the car. Guy just wants to get paid. This is reference to your story. Does that question make sense to you, Sue?
So the reason why I would give him a rating is one reason is he didn't do the 24 hours plus 2. He was rude to the customer. He held the car from the customer for no reason. Didn't even want him let him have an inspection. He wanted him just to sign off on it and get paid before he would even take it off the trailer. And that's not the way you do business.
So I'm glad you pointed. I'm glad we actually touched upon this, because one of the things that has also happened, and I think it's been in this industry so long, it's just assumed it's fine, is there's this level of everybody's gotten really rude and angry. And I was at the grocery store, okay, and the person in line at the express checkout, they had a problem and they needed the employee to come over and hit the approval button or whatever. And the employee did it, but said to the customer, oh, the reason that happened is such and such, but I went ahead and, got you through it. And the customer was like, well, are you having an attitude with me? And I thought, what is this?
Right.
We can't have a simple
Conversation.
communication about just approval needed. And it's this lack of ability to communicate, and I don't think it's getting better.
No.
So
I had it happen to me today too.
right,
So,
this
yeah.
is a social commentary moment where there's just so much irritation
Yeah.
that I don't even know how to finish that sentence.
Yeah. No, I think it's everywhere. I don't know if it's the stress of everything going on in the world or what.
But you can't tell the customer that they can't inspect the car and be rude. You can't do that.
No.
But I also know that, and this isn't in your situation, but if you're getting like hammered on the rate and all this other stuff, by the time you deliver, you do feel that way. Which is another reason to go back to, if you're getting the cheapest rate, man, you get what you pay for.
Right.
So, we'll end the show there.
Yeah.
Yes. So I want to thank everybody in the live chat for tuning in, people that watch later. Super Dispatch, Murphy Auto Transport Services. If you've got a question or something to share, and by the way, I'm going to go ahead and thank you for that email, sending it in so we could share it.
Yeah.
Please keep it coming.
Yeah.
We are here to help. I think we're the only place you can go to right now to get all this information and some of this help with a little bit of spice on the side. So thank you so much for making ATI Dispatching Live the most popular show in logistics on Thursdays. Thanks everybody for tuning in. What do we say, office?
What do we say, office? Goodbye, Sue.
Goodbye, Sue. Thanks everybody.
Bye,
Take
guys.
care. We'll see you again
you.
soon.
All
All right.
right.
Peace. Bye.